My name is Christopher Ballone. I'm a trial attorney at the Dornick Law Corporation. I became involved in this case roughly a year ago. Russ, who's a fantastic lawyer, and came to us and told us about what I always thought was a fascinating case.
Russ Ercolani. I am the owner and principal attorney at Westlake Injury Law. The plaintiff was referred to me, and I met her and her husband.
What happened is a really nice family, a really nice husband and wife in Ventura County bought a brand new RV, and our client trips on her way down the stairs, reaches for what they call the assist bar, and it rips out of the wall, which should never happen. She slammed her head on the concrete, fractured multiple bones in her face, her orbital bone, her cheekbone, and suffered a brain injury. Then medically it becomes a little bit complicated. She had a surgery that went wrong after that to remove fluid from one of her sinus cavities. That led to her becoming blind in one of her eyes.
To be beside the family through that process and to be getting those calls as it was happening was horrific. And it made me that much more committed to making sure that we accomplished justice.
This was incredibly unfair. It was incredibly sad. It should have never happened.
We knew that we were going to need to do some serious discovery, get experts involved to really dig in and figure out what happened.
There was a lot going on in this case. There were a lot of obstacles on liability, on causation, on damages. We had to prove that this company, that all they do is make RVs. For many years, they make RVs, and that they did the simplest thing wrong in a negligent way. Once we figured out exactly what went wrong, what they should have done that they didn't do, then putting it in animation was key.
Once DK Global came in and showed this wall opening up and the screws completely missing, it became really clear this was an absolute failure in the construction.
The most difficult part of the case was causation on our client's right eye blindness. That's part of the reason why it was so important that we had great evidence, great visuals, and a great animation. And we did that through the meetings with DK Global, through the meetings with our experts, through bringing them together. We found a way to make it easily understandable to a jury. Preparing the animation, tweaking the animation over a period of many months made me feel probably more prepared than I've ever felt to be in a trial. There's no doubt in my mind that by showing them what we were going to show the jury in our animation, how cogent our theories were, that it added millions and millions of dollars to our ultimate recovery to help this lady. The negotiations in this case evolved from a point, as they often do, from insulting with how little they were offering us to gradually more and more. The more work Russ and I did, the better our case got, the better the offers got. The more we were able to get good expert testimony coming out in the depositions, the more we could go back and tweak our animation. And our offers that we got went up by millions and millions of dollars. The ultimate result in this case is something I think that Russ and I are both very proud of. It settled for $8 million. I know probably that we couldn't have gotten the result that we got without being able to show them the animation over and over again in our depots.
It's going to make a meaningful difference in our client's life, what she can do in taking care of herself, what she'll need in the future, and what she can do for her kids and her family.
It was, in this case, my first time working with DK Global ever. It was a really rewarding experience to collaborate, not just to say, hey, make us an animation, but to make it together. And ultimately, the whole idea, what it's all about, changing the complexion of this woman's life, taking a tragedy and getting a result that feels just. And we did it together with DK Global.